What's going on, everybody? Wilson here, Spiritual Hype Man. So happy you are back. And now let's continue with episode number 2.
If there was some questionable things that happened to the child as a result of the biomom's mismanagement or whatever.
Or what about even just personality?
Personality, I mean, it's not somebody I would pick to go hang out with, really.
Like you wouldn't sit on Boney
no.
Boney's Beast chair.
No, but it's just, but that portion of life is done.
Yeah,
you know, they're adults. And
I thought that too.
But
that's not for us yet. It's not, because I thought that after that everyone turned 18, it wouldn't have been such an issue. But my God, like it's like even now, like this past week, I'm like, what is going on, and why is this still affecting us, right? So.
To get back to your point, though, you know, when you get into a relationship with someone, a romantic relationship, and there's trust and love there, it's still going to be you two after everybody else goes and makes their own decisions. You cannot influence what your offspring or step offspring do with their relationships with another a future spouse or whatever. You can't influence that, nor do they want you meddling in that. And that's kind of like, you know, it was our time post or pre-kids, and then now it's our time post-kids. So let us do us. It's time for us to do us, and we'll be much happier because of it, and you will be happier too because we're happy.
I agree.
If you don't like that, I'm sorry, but I wasn't put on this earth to take care of you for the rest of your life. I wasn't.
I agree. That's valid.
You know, it sounds pretty light and airy, but it comes with some heavy emotions and decisions.
Of course. And that's what we're currently going through. We're
You're in a younger season of it than we are.
Correct. And I feel like for Patty, it's a big thing that she's still working through as far as like mom guilt. Right? Like she calls it mom guilt, and like it's
a thing. It's a real thing.
You
know, I thought it was an Italian thing that my mom passed to me, and likewise. But it's, you know, and moms can't help it. You know, they want their cubs to grow up, and I want them to fly out of the nest and thrive. I don't want them to fly out of the nest and sink and fail. I want them to be good, productive citizens and people of society. At what level they choose to be financially and whatever else, you know, that's their decision. So.
Wow, so good, so good, Diane, so good. What a great episode.
Oh man.
Okay, very cool. And so I would say so I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and then we can talk about the business a little bit.
Yes.
Cool.
As long as we're good on time.
Yeah. What you got?
I had to be somewhere at 1:45.
1:45. Let's see. Diane. Okay, it's 12:55. So we got what, like 20 minutes?
Yeah.
20 minutes. Okay. Okay. So I would say I guess for anybody that may be going through something like that, or you know, maybe it's having children now that they're looking to have that conversation with them. It's like, hey, let's get our shit together, kind of a move thing. What would what would be your playbook? What would you say to them?
I would say to come back to, like we were talking, the relationship of you. Who is your significant other, you know, and do you love and respect each other enough to have that conversation honest and open? If you can't, then get some help for that. You know, we've had help over the years with different emotional things and regarding our kids, and so we sought out help. But you still have to come back to each other, be mature about it. Don't be whiny and don't bring other emotions into that conversation, and that's hard for people to do.
I think that is
because you are who you are. You know,
and ultimately that's where that emotion drives these actions. So I feel like one of the things when we deal with certain situations, including stuff with family, it's like we try to acknowledge the level of emotion. And sometimes I'm like, babe, do you understand that right now this is super fucking high emotion, and we need to just like chill the fuck out. Let's like relax for a minute. Let's come back at it when we're less emotional and then just a little more logical.
Yeah, there have been times when in our daughter's dating experiences that they've had challenges of working through relationships that weren't going to work. and they've gotten pretty heated, and even though, you know, they're on vacation here with us, they're still yelling and screaming with other people on the phone. Yeah. You know, and that's hard.
Oh my God, it's so embarrassing.
You've got to acknowledge that, you know, this is how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And, you know, I got to deal with that. You know, it's like, dude, you're up here.
Yeah.
When you should, like, chill out and think about it, and to interject kind of comments or constructive criticism as a parent.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like sometimes they take it, sometimes they don't, and you have to choose the tone, the voice, the words, all of that. Timing. Kind of walking on eggshells, or they'll blow up in your face.
Yeah.
At least it's like that with girls. I don't know how it's like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like so the issue that happened with our middle child that came back and moved out. Like, we went to Georgia. You know, again, I just caught this thing. He just kept being a little fucking disrespectful, and it just, I you know, in that moment I had enough, but I was high emotional, right? Because, like, to me, it's like, Patty's my other half, and this is what I tell her. I was like, this is my best friend, my other half, and everything. Yeah. It's like, you disrespect her,
don't diss her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so that was my line, and there's two things where I wish they would know, at least get grasp that, like, myself cares so much about your mom in a way that, like, if you disrespect her, I'm gonna stand up for her. Like, I wish they can see that perspective and be like, you know what? Even though XYZ, like, I find that, you know, fill in the vocabulary word in terms of them at least appreciating that, like, someone like that is there for their mom, right? For the longest time that they've seen other stuff. They've seen people, like, to me, I was already going to be another FF3, which is like an acronym for fuckface. Okay, so like they've seen these, they've seen it. So, like, that's one, and then two, for me, it's timing. In that moment, I lost my emotion. Like, I was high emotion, and I reacted because, like, she's my best friend. Don't fucking do that to her. Like, I would do that. I would do that with anybody.
She's your live-in spouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Loved one. My lover.
Like, she is and I realized, I was like, babe, you know that I spend the most time with you, and you have become my most influenced person on me. Like, we're our most influential person on each other, and so I realized that. So I was like, if anybody else, if we were at a restaurant or bar, anything else similar like that, I would have the same immediate reaction.
You know, I think that as women, you want your man to stand up for you that way, even if it's to her kids. I don't know how she felt about that, but you know, don't disrespect my woman.
Yeah, my
period.
Right, exactly.
Period.
And so I wish they can see it in that manner versus, like, this is what's getting done to me, sort of perspective. And then the second perspective I had is, like, you know what, like you were saying, like, the tone, the timing. I think if I would have done it differently, I would still had the same conversation. I still would have made my point, but I probably would have just waited if it, like, a one-on-one conversation. You know? And I think that's where I could have done better. And again, these are the things that I wish. So once I got back, I was like, I tried having the conversation with the kiddo, but he was already emotionally already hurt, you know, because it was done in front of people, and maybe, you know, again, and then sometimes this is the issue that we deal with. When there's two parties involved, like, you know, like, you have your older daughter that's got a mom, same thing. Like, we obviously have their bio dad. To me, I feel like we break it down in terms of teams. There's always two teams, and there's always two mentalities, right? Or two notions of what it means to be a team and what it means to go win this game. Yeah. Ultimately, right? And so for us, my biggest issue throughout the time was two opposing teams always, like, influencing, you know, and then when things got hard on our end, because, like, my team is like, hey, we're going to do this, like, here's how we're going to do it, there's a line of respect, we can have fun, but there are things that need to get done, right? Like, because that's how you're going to become a positive influence in society, right? Like, there are things that you can't just sit around and fuck around and think, like, life is going to hand you lemons to make lemonades, you know? So there, we always dealt with that, like, opposing, especially when it got hard on my side of the team. Like, there was things, and then when it got hard, then the boys, it seemed to be like, then go find comfort on the opposite, and then the opposite would just be like feeding and feeding.
Well, yeah. See, that's the level of maturity that is very often found in blended families. Correct. They play one against the other.
It's crazy,
and there's no answer for that.
And it's natural, and I feel like it's natural unless you because I did, like, I've done it, right? I've done it, but now thinking of it, like, if I were to do it all over again, it'd be none of that. It'd be more like you. It'd be more like, you know what?
Just decide. Well, I decided to be the rock because that wasn't the situation on the other side. I decided that. And did it come without emotions? Yeah. No. Hell no. I mean, after the situation blew up and settled down, I mean, I had my shares of jumping up and down and ranting and raving and this is stupid, but never to the kid.
Right.
Never to the kid.
Yeah.
Because
that's where I fucked up.
Yeah. But, you know, the dynamics are all different with scenarios. Men and boys could be different scenario than women and girls.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want a hair-pulling, knockout, drag-out, screaming, slapping face. You know, that's not how I roll.
Well, there's no need for that at all. No. Like, yeah, even that, like, as far as, like, once you cross that line of physical altercation, which I've done, you know, looking at it now, there's never a need for that.
No.
Like, if you're emotionally aware enough and can filter through and you have this, you know, awareness of just how do I deal with this versus, like, throwing shit, right? Like, and I feel like that's for anybody, any type of violence, fill in the violence, you know, blank. But yeah, I agree with you. Man.
Even metaphorically, you know, I'm not gonna, there's been shouting matches with me and my girls, but never with the oldest one, because she's a lot like Dan, you know, and calm, collected,
cool,
mature,
like the other side of the pillow.
It was like, darn it, here I am going up and down and all over the place. You know, it's never been perfect, but at the end of the day, still there's the rock. I keep going back to it. I have to be above this situation if we're going to get through it.
Yeah.
You know.
I love that, Diane. That hits home. I love it. No, that's great. That's great. Instead of being the fucking unstable one and look like crazy.
Well, yeah, you know, she had enough of that on the other side. And it ultimately hurt her in ways that, you know, that you could never imagine. It hurt her. But I think her bio mom eventually came back around and saw it, you know, and there was some conversations that I know happened between bio mom and the daughter. You know, listen, I was messed up during this period. And like I said, you don't come in with a parental how-to book. She had her childhood that came into effect, you know, and how she behaved and how she went into her marriages.
That's valid. It just gave me perspective. I was like, man, I wonder. That's probably what they found from the other camp, though. Even though, like, some of the stuff that, like, didn't make sense in terms of, like, but I think they found more solace over there as far as, like, somebody like a rock type figure. Even though, you know, the influence was, you know, completely off. But I think me here, jumping up and down, trying to be like, how do you not fucking see it? Probably created the opposite effect of what I was actually trying to do in that situation.
You know, when the boys get old enough to find a significant other for themselves, and they start having families, they're having deep relationships and fall in love at that level where this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with, then they'll be able to see things clearer. And you know, wisdom there's a lot to be said for wisdom, having been there, done that. You got the shirt, you know, and you just can't teach that. Some have it innately there, a tiny bit, but you still have to go through that experience, or that losing that baby, that losing that job, losing that financial stability. You know, you just don't understand until you go through it. You got to walk through the fire and feel that pain to make the decisions to not feel that pain anymore.
And that brings us full circle. The outcomes.
No script. This is unscripted.
Exactly. It's powerful. It's really, really good. All right, we got a few minutes. Let's talk about the business. So, unfortunately, your brother passed, but you decided to keep this going?
Yeah, but he died in 2023. I ultimately decided to keep it going. I had the part-time job, punching a clock, still doing the networking thing everywhere I could, financially contributing to growing it as much as I could, working with you guys, you know, in your business, trying to get the social media under control, and you really have to keep all those plates spinning even when you don't have the talent and ability to do it, you got to find somebody who has that talent and ability to do it. And, you know, and it's really, honestly, it feels like I've had to start this business over 3 times, because really losing a partner kind of takes you back to ground zero again. And I'm not including just the grief part of it. I'm including all the, you know, the Sunbiz paperwork, all the taxes, all the filing, all the registration, the address changes, all of that. What you don't see comes into play in restarting, because you can't have your bank statements going to your brother's old address.
Yeah, right.
He's not there.
Yeah, right.
You know, and he's got to get off the bank statement, so you can't bring in a new partner. So it was hell.
Yeah, quite a bit of
it was hell. But you just have to decide that I'm either going to continue to move forward, even though it's been painful and challenging and lonely.
Yeah.
Not because of losing him, but because only because of losing him, but because you don't know what questions to ask sometimes. Well, how do I do this? And, you know, I could turn the corner today on the computer and find another address that he had.
Yeah.
And that just happened a month ago. So.
What's your brother's name?
Brian.
You're like, Brian!
Yeah.
What are you doing today?
No, all I want to do is schlep the chairs, and we've schlepped the chairs.
Yeah.
You know, I'm north of 65, and I've schlepped the chairs. I sweated my brains out. I've done the things. I've hired people. I've tried this, that, and the other, and, you know, some work, some don't, and that's part of business.
Yeah. And where you at now? You seen a little bit of a light?
Well, you know, I was fortunate enough to do my last sweat labor event was this year.
Right.
And I had to reach a point where I said, screw this. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to hire a 6'4" dude to come and help, even if it was just for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So they did, and he came, and I was still running circles around him.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I got to pivot here. I got to find somebody else that I can, you know, I can really work with.
Yeah, you can trust.
So that was just this year. We've turned the corner, and it immediately opened up a whole nother avenue of places to explore, of businesses to partner with. We have a major proposal in with a hotel to do the same thing, you know, and this person that is partnered with us to get the chairs on and off the beach, he only needs morning and evening hours. He's got something in between going on.
Perfect.
I didn't have to teach him or train him a thing. He's just done it. And it's been a blessing for me to just such a huge weight off my shoulders to be able to know that it's going to get done the right way.
Yeah.
The way I would do it is the way he's doing it, because he has a business too.
Yeah.
He's an entrepreneur.
That's a great business lesson.
You know, versus a W-2, which I would have to be out here training and sweating my butt off again, or still.
Yeah.
And having them ask me questions that, you know, he doesn't do any of that. He just goes, does the thing, and he's done.
Sets it up.
Picks it up at the end of the day.
Today.
And I don't, you know, I'm in the pool floating, which is the way it was supposed to be designed.
That's right. That's
right. So
it feels good, right?
It does.
Yeah. So business-wise, I guess for people that are entrepreneurs and running their business and doing that, what would be some feedback or some points that you would want to share with them?
Oh my God.
And by the way, if you are in the area, Palm Coast, Flagler, Ormond, Daytona?
Yeah, or Ormond, some parts of Daytona.
Some parts of Daytona, and you do not want to lift a finger.
Don't lift a finger, call us.
You want to be in the pool, calling Bony Booties.
Yeah,
they'll set this up for you. You get 2 chairs, an umbrella, and you got something going on.
Full service.
Full service.
All you do is walk down the steps, sit down.
Yeah.
Turn around, walk up the steps, and you're done.
Yeah. The only thing next time is that we need someone to set up the equipment for me.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as advice, I mean, you got to balance when is time to say no. Mm-hmm. And I was almost there. When is the time to push forward? You know, look at your balance sheet to make sure, and I suck at that.
Yeah.
You know, look at your balance sheet, make sure that everything's lined up, and have courage to take a step even though you don't know how you're gonna make it work.
Yeah.
So what I discovered is that I do have some meat on the bone to share with a person who's going to help me be able to relax and think more strategy at an upper level. So I had to have the courage to do that and just be flat out fed up with the way things were. It's not an easy job because we have these walkovers up and down the beach. And walking on the sand with 10 pounds of chairs up and down times 10 chairs, or however many a person wants, it kicks your butt. It really does. It's not something that a 60-plus-year-old person wants to do or could do sometimes. I've done it, but I don't want to do it. That wasn't the plan. This is supposed to be a retirement residual income while I travel and float in the pool and be with my husband. Not that I don't want to put in the grunt work I have, and I've suffered, emotionally and financially.
Was there a moment you wanted to quit?
All the time, looking at my brother's gravesite, wanted to quit. When I'm hauling 10 chairs or all chairs off the beach, you want to quit, and I think that's every entrepreneur's struggle in their head.
When to call it.
Right, when to call it, turn the lights out. But this year has been, because I made those decisions, this year I can see possibilities. We have the new hotel there. We're partnered with them, with Margaritaville.
Sitting here right now, there's 2 chairs right over there.
Right over here to my shoulder. So, I mean, that's one of the first. And this is not the kind of beach where you park the chairs out here all day and have an attendant and just walk up to them and say, here, pay,
Is it
pay here.
Right?
It's the opposite. They have to order online. And then we deliver the chairs. So. And
that's just based on the way the town ordinance and everything is. That's just, you're working through it, but also still providing that service at some point. Like I can just see the whole section of the beach just being bony booty.
That's what we want to do. And the guy who does the chairs, Ryan is his name. He's ready and waiting. Wants to bring it. Says, bring it on. Bring me 3. Bring me 5 at a time. Awesome. Clusters of families. You want to come down and enjoy the beach as a family, not have to lift anything or drag chairs in the car. You got enough to do with the kids. And the fishing poles and all the other stuff.
I think it's great. I think it's great. So for now, so what are we doing? I know we talked about 2 chairs, umbrella, and
we're gonna do a special.
Okay.
We're on the eve of August 1st. So from August 1st to the 12th, when school starts, we're offering a $79 special, and we're going to do that. Plus, we're going to throw in a beach toy. Could be a boogie board, could be sand toys for the young kids, could be a bocce ball set, could be we had the paddleball things going on.
That's great value.
So we want you to enjoy the beach, not have to worry about a thing. You're down to the wire here in terms of enjoying some free time before the kids go back to school.
And or if the kids already moved down and they're adults.
Exactly. just surprise them. I mean, go to the beach and just sit down.
We can be surprise the other half too or something. Maybe
date night. I mean, we have it, and then in the fall we shift to s'mores on the beach.
I can't wait for that. I'm gonna do that.
And that'll be a different experience. Or massages on the beach. We're bringing that in. I have a therapist that is ready and waiting.
Fantastic.
So
cool. I'm excited.
Look us up.
All right. Well, you guys heard it here in this episode.
Yep.
Thank you, Dianne, for hanging out with me. It was a great
fun.
combo, right?
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome.
Great fun.
Okay, so last 3 questions. Actually, last 2 questions. The biggest regret in your life?
I think I mismanaged leaving a business one time. I didn't do it correctly. I didn't, I took a class on a program and then I left soon after. That is one of my regrets. I just, I want to take the high road on those kind of things, and I didn't with that particular circumstance. I was young, in my 20s. That's not an excuse. You know what's right and what's wrong. That to me is a regret.
Got it. And so what was it? What was the thing you just left to?
I took the class on this company, and then a month later I gave them my notice here, having them paid for it, and I went over here to use that skill.
Got it.
Not a good thing.
Like it just doesn't fit.
That kind of sucks.
Okay. So second question: your biggest accomplishment outside of family and kids?
I would say being a connector. It's not about the business at the end of the day. It's about being able to help other people achieve whatever they're looking for in their life. If I could connect them with a realtor, or connect them with a therapist, or connect them with a financial planner to help them move forward in their life, then I would consider that a success.
Nice. Fantastic. And you've done plenty of that.
I've done a lot of that. You feel like a phone book sometimes. Who who does this? Who who does that? And I get really jazzed about that, helping other people.
That's cool. Yeah, I feel Patty's very much aligned with that as well with you too. Okay, last question. What are you currently working on now to change through your life? Like, what's something that you're working to change?
Well, enjoying retirement and stopping a little bit to smell the roses. I'm a little afraid of stopping too much because I don't want to fall into, watching TV all day.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person, because then I know I'll feel depressed about it.
Right.
But finding the balance of how to stay active with my husband as a marriage, as a couple. We're taking dance lessons.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's kind of fun, and that kind of reunited us in terms of relationship.
Love that.
But finding that balance and how to wind down and land the plane, if you will, on that runway. So you're in a safe place to relax, unwind, and finish your days on this earth. Do it well. I want to be a legacy for my children.
Love it.
I want them to be able to say, they were pretty cool people.
Yeah.
In spite of, just because they're your parents,
Right.
Just all around good people. They did this to support the community. They did this to support us. They did this. Their talents and abilities were, kind of valuable to others.
Yeah.
That's the kind of, that's what's important to me.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to say to anybody?
No, and just thank you for the opportunity to come down here, sit on my own chairs, and talk with you.
Yeah, thanks for being our sponsor. You were actually officially our first sponsor here on the podcast.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And if whatever your podcast is about, nothing changes till you do. Well, change the tune, change it to always on the grind to carving out time to relax.
Yeah, love it.
And pay for that. You're worth it.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like there's a fine balance too.
Get on the beach and stare at the waves. Do nothing.
Yeah.
But it's still, it's feeding your spirit.
Yeah, reset, recharge.
Yeah, recharge.
Recharge that battery.
Definitely.
All right, Diane, give me some.
Yes.
All right, folks, you heard it here. Continue listening, and remember, if you're going through some stuff, just remember it's the thoughts in our head.
Yeah.
You got to figure out how to change those thoughts, change those prompts, and don't forget, nothing changes until you do. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Awesome. Peace out.
Let's go. All right. Good stuff, man.